Imagine living your life after 50 and feeling energized and excited about your future. Welcome to the Women in the Middle podcast, the podcast for women who are ready to figure out what they want and create the life they deserve. Here's your host and master certified life coach, Suzy Rosenstein.
Hey there, welcome back to the podcast, Women in the Middle. I'm your host, Suzy Rosenstein, your master certified coach and midlife mentor, and I'm so glad to be here with you again for this week's episode, 10 Reasons to be Grateful for Midlife. Notice I said for midlife, not just in midlife. There's a slight difference, so that's what we're talking about today. But first, I've been mentioning something new and exciting that's coming your way now for a few podcast episodes, and I am thrilled to give you the latest update. This episode is sponsored by the Finally First Midlife membership, and guess what? The virtual doors are opening on December 1st, 2019. Finally First is a life-changing, upbeat virtual community for midlife women just like you. One thing I've heard time and time again from clients, listeners too, and also women in my Facebook group is that it is a total drag to feel stuck. It's such a waste of time and it is so frustrating. And it's also kind of weird because you've probably never been stuck quite like this before. You've always been able to unconfuse yourself and get going again. But this time, at this age, not so much. The good news is that midlife doesn't have to be this way, I promise you. Now you can make Finally First your favorite one-stop shop for all of the midlife coaching, mindfulness, guidance, and community that you need. Here's the thing. You'll not only learn great stuff and be able to unstick yourself, but you'll also get to connect with an amazing bunch of like-minded women like you who know what it's like to be in a midlife funk and are ready to bust out and get excited about their lives again too, right along with you. As a woman in the middle, you know that you want this, and I know what you're looking for. That's why I just knew I had to create something like this, a community just for you, a community just for us. The Finally First Midlife membership is here to help you put yourself first and get the midlife support and community you've been looking for. It's where you need to be, and it won't be the same without you. Seriously, your voice and experience are needed, are valuable, and important for all of us. It's grow time, my friends, so head over to www.iamfinallyfirst.com and sign up for the VIP waitlist now so you're in the loop and don't miss a thing. You never know, it usually pays to be on a list like this. I'm just saying, really, don't ignore this message. There's often a special bonus just waiting for you, and that's related to being on this list. So again, head over to www.iamfinallyfirst.com. Okay, now there's one more thing I want to mention before we dive in. A question came up in an iTunes review that I want to address. So PGRIGZZZ, P. Griggs, writes, thoroughly enjoying your podcast and want to hear more. Why isn't iTunes showing your first 22 episodes? Or how can I access them on my phone while I'm driving to work? Oh my gosh, thank you so much for reaching out. Now, I'm not an iPhone, iTunes whiz, but so I don't know why they aren't showing the first 22. I wonder if it's just a limit on how many are shown. But don't worry, you can absolutely see them. You can try other podcast apps. It's available on tons of them. So whatever your favorite one is, or check out a couple more, you'll probably find them there. And then the other thing you can always do is go to my website. Go to www.suzyrosenstein.com and click on the podcast tab, and you'll see them all there. And there's a player there on each episode, so you can also listen from the episode on the website. So no worries there. Thank you so much for pointing it out and asking. I wasn't aware of it, but I really appreciate you reaching out, and I'm so excited that I'm helping you on your drive to work and that we're connecting that way. Great question. Okay, so let's dive in. Today's topic is the top 10 reasons to be grateful for midlife. I'm pretty excited about this, actually. There's a ton of buzz about gratitude these days. It's becoming more and more known to actually be good for your health. How great is that? There's so many studies now being published about the relationship between gratitude and happiness, diversity, relationships, and overall well-being. We really should be taking a close look at gratitude. So what does gratitude and expressing gratitude mean exactly? It's really about being thankful and showing appreciation. You might think of it as showing kindness, that sort of thing. The most common way to express gratitude is to actually say thank you. It's something we teach our kids. It's something I'm sure you're aware of. And this can be an easy thing to overlook though too, right? Sometimes when we're in a rush, we might not say thank you, but we really want to, be aware of it because it is the easiest way to bring gratitude into our lives. Acknowledgement of thanks. There are other ways to express thanks, maybe thinking of someone and then calling them to touch base and say hello, or thinking what somebody might like or what you could do to brighten their day. Maybe helping someone with a meal or kind gesture. Even being present and really listening can be a way to express gratitude. Actually, gratitude seems to also help even when you don't share it or express it. Just thinking and noting that you feel thankful, like acknowledging the appreciation to yourself, that helps. Noticing it, journaling about it, all of this can really help with receiving those positive effects. I think you're getting the hang of it. So you might even keep a gratitude journal. Is that something you've heard about? This is a way that can be really useful in terms of making gratitude a part of your daily habit and your daily routine. I thought it would be fun to take a look at 10 reasons to be grateful for midlife because so many of us don't think about aging this way at all. Aging is often considered negative, like it's just blech, right? It's better to be younger than older. It's not something that so many of us would consider worthy of gratitude. And it's kind of strange because it's something all of us humans have in common, and the way we tend to think about it sets us up for a big downer. So let's shake things up a bit. I've come up with 10 things I would like you to consider being grateful about. Remember, grateful is a feeling. Where do feelings come from? Your thoughts, your thinking. So the feelings you have about my top 10 list are because of the way you think about them. If it's nowhere near grateful, it's an opportunity for you to consider a shift if you think it might be more useful for you to feel something else. So you really have to watch what's coming up for you as I mention these top things. Okay, drum roll, please, in no particular order. Starting with the 10th reason to be grateful in midlife, menopause. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love not getting my period. The fuss, the muss, the planning. As a family, we've taken a few sailing trips in the Caribbean, and I found myself thinking about it on that 52-foot catamaran. I was thinking, oh my God, I'm so glad I don't get my period anymore. I was relieved not to have to deal with any of it. Now, I know you may have thoughts coming up for you right now about menopause that are not producing that grateful feeling. Maybe you're having side effects, night sweats, and not sleeping well. Maybe you're struggling with perimenopause or have thoughts about aging associated with it. Those kinds of things, right? This is my point. You can think what you want, but you have to like your reasons. Menopause itself is a fact. Facts are neutral, right? It's what you make it mean that cause your feelings. You could feel gratitude if you think a thought on purpose that creates the feeling for you. The 9th reason to be grateful for midlife, you are probably starting to entertain the idea that you care less about what people think. You might actually be caring less about what people think already. This is saying bye-bye to the people pleaser in you. Now, you may not be completely over the hump yet, but there are lots of women that you'll meet and you'll read about and that you'll hear on the news who talk about this. Maybe some of your friends, maybe your mom, maybe you already feel this way. I am grateful for this for sure. Wherever you are on that continuum, you're probably not going backwards. Okay, the 8th reason to be grateful for midlife. You notice that you really are older and wiser, not just older. You appreciate that your wisdom has definitely come from decades of experience with all kinds of things, life in general. You may notice this as a parent, as a spouse, as a partner, as a cook, as an employee, as an entrepreneur, as a mentor. You name it, by your age, you've accomplished and experienced a lot, and you're learning to appreciate it. I'm grateful for this. How about you? What's coming up for you? The 7th reason to be grateful for midlife. You have years of experience with hobbies and it shows. You've become quite talented with whatever it is that you do and love. It could be a passion or a specific talent like knitting or bowling, gardening, or pottery maybe. You notice that you know a lot about it and you have advanced skill. With me, I see this when I go whale watching. I have been studying whales and whale behavior since 1985 and have been on about 36 whale watches all over the place over the years. I love photography and I've been able to see a lot with my zoom lens and with cropping the photographs and enlarging them. So it really enhances my experience and it enhances what I'm able to see and understand. I talk to lots of people when I'm in these situations on whale watching boats for sure. And I know more than most and have had experiences that even the naturalists are excited to hear about. I'm grateful that I invested in myself to learn about what I love. I also have fun sharing what I know and sharing my passion about whales with others. See what I mean? What's coming up for you? The 6th reason to be grateful for midlife, insights about relationships. Now, I know that you're probably thinking about one person who has not increased their insights about relationships, but I really think that you get smarter about relationships as you age. Always exceptions, but overall. It is a broad sweeping generalization that I am just sharing with you in this podcast as something to consider. I think you'll notice that you have more insight, wisdom, and ability to see things and understand relationships with greater perspective. For sure, the mindfulness work we do here on the podcast helps, but I think you know what I mean, right? I know you have that exception. It's okay. Okay, the 5th reason to be grateful for midlife, you are an important keeper of the family memories and stories. Have you thought about this? I love being able to share early childhood memories with other family members, younger family members who don't have them. And as you get older, you're one of the few who has the extensive knowledge base of your family history. You may be the keeper of the photos too, who knows? But for sure, it's fun to be that person with the treasure trove of memories. I'm totally grateful for that. The 4th reason to be grateful for midlife, wisdom in work and volunteer situations. At your age, you've been around the block when it comes to showing up in a professional capacity in your career or employment, or as a committed volunteer. You've seen things, you've done things. Maybe you've been on boards. Maybe you've been in leadership positions as a volunteer. Maybe you're an entrepreneur. The bottom line is you've racked up experiences and you know stuff. And you function quite differently as a result of it. I am super grateful for that. Some of those early years were painful. How about you? The 3rd reason to be grateful for midlife is girlfriends. Yep, plain and simple. Girlfriends are the bomb diggity. Friends who have known you for a long time and love you no matter what. You're past the drama. You know better how to be comfortable in your own skin. And you appreciate how to be quiet together too. If you don't have the girlfriends and community you need, you can prioritize that because you're older and wiser and know it's important. And I heard that there's a new midlife membership community around called Finally First that can help you with this too. Okay, number 2, the number 2 reason for being grateful for midlife, your responsibilities at home are changing so that you have more time for you. You probably have more flexibility too, either because your kids are older and maybe you're better off financially. The trick now is to make sure that you learn how to use this time and flexibility with intention. That is, that you learn how to prioritize yourself and be finally first. Empty nest and just moving along that continuum of family life and whatever it looks like for you can really create this opportunity for you. And the number one reason for being grateful in midlife, you are alive. My friend, you're alive. You are here. Not everyone has the ability to be grateful for midlife. This is one thing that's a big deal for me because I have far outlived my birth parents. My mother died when she was only 32, my father when he was only 41, and here I am at 56. They did not have the privilege of aging. Now, if you're listening, you do. I would much prefer feeling gratitude when I think about aging than sadness or loss. This is all up to you because your thoughts create your feelings every day of the week. Quite a shift, right? You can absolutely play with this concept of being grateful in midlife. Okay, so there you have it. My top 10 reasons for feeling grateful about midlife in this age and stage of your experience on the planet. Really notice what came up for you. Were you rolling your eyes, wondering what planet I came from? Did you notice your feelings at all? Were they very different from grateful? When I brought up these suggestions, what was going on in your mind and what were you feeling? Did you notice a disconnect with how you were feeling but felt maybe a little bit curious about the shift that you could make with your mindset? All of these ideas are up for consideration. Remember, you can think what you want, but when you think, you create feelings, and these feelings are affecting what you do, what you accomplish, what you procrastinate, what you resist, all of it. So that's why you really should like those reasons. That's why I keep saying it. Take yourself and your valuable time seriously enough to consider what's going on up there so that you can be more intentional about your midlife. Gratitude is an option. You can practice thinking thoughts that create it. You can practice noticing when you feel it. You can practice expressing it. You can practice feeling grateful anytime you want. It's all optional and it's available to you. That's it for today's episode. If you're interested in being part of an amazing learning community, a coaching community chock full of women in the middle, much like yourself, who want to work together on doing midlife on purpose, you know what to do. Make sure to head over to www.iamfinallyfirst.com and join us. My focus as a midlife coach is to help you waste less time and get excited about your life again. Being the queen of your brain domain is the best way to be. You can check out the show notes with more information and links at SuzyRosenstein.com. Download my free ebook, 9 Secrets to Get Unstuck in Your 50s at www.SuzyRosenstein.com/9 secrets. And whenever you're ready, there are 2 great ways I can help you learn to create your midlife on purpose. The first way is to join the free Women in the Middle Community Facebook group and connect with other midlife women there. We're all doing the work together. Just head over to www.facebook.com/groups/Women in the Middle Community. And the second way, check out the new midlife membership, Finally First. This is an affordable, upbeat virtual community for women who are ready to create midlife on purpose, just like you. Head over to www.iamfinallyfirst.com. Let's do this, ladies. It's time for you to put yourself first. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next week.